Hi, welcome to Citizen Survival Plan. My name's John. In today's video, we are going to get into how to mount a PVS-14 to your helmet. How does this work? What mounts do I need? What type of mounts can I use? And how to hook up hearing protection that doesn't cost $1,500 to a bump helmet. There is so many videos I watched during trying to figure out this night vision setup, and all I wanted someone to do was show the mounts and actually put this together on camera so it would make sense. And that's what we're going to do today. Also, throughout the video, we're going to get into my budget night vision helmet setup and some ideas you can use to also set up your own. At the end of the video, we're going to touch base on the rifle illuminator you use on your gun to use with your night vision and why that's necessary. So let's get right into it.
Okay, so let's start with this helmet. We'll take a look at it. This is where you're going to want to end up. It's set up like this, where we can lower the device and raise it on this mount. So this is what a PVS-14 will typically come with. It's going to come with this skull crusher cap, and this thing is horrendous to wear. Does it work? Yes, it's miserable. This is why we're making the helmet. So let's start with the actual device. You ordered a PVS-14, and this is what this video is about: how to mount specifically the PVS-14 onto a helmet. So all these are crazy shapes and nothing makes sense when it's laid out. So let's start with the device first. And all of them are going to have a threaded insert in them. This is how you attach your arm. So let's start with the arm you're going to use. They will typically come with a horn mount. I've seen these called bayonet, but this, for all intents and purposes, this is a horn mount and this is a dovetail mount. Those are the differences. For us, we're going to want to stick with the dovetail mount, and this is just my opinion. These are nicer than using a horn mount. But these two items are called J-arms, and this is what screws into your PVS-14. Let's show the differences to actually mount them. Whether you go with a horn or a dovetail, this is the differences it's going to look like. This goes to your mount. So this clicks into the helmet, but I just want to show this first. This is a dovetail mount here. This is the dovetail connector, and it simply clicks into place on your mount. And this is how you release it. So if you want to go with the horn style mount, this would interchange out with your dovetail connector. Now, just be warned, mine came with two different style mounts. Yours probably will not, depending on whether you use the Amazon link I put in this video or not. So the horn mount clicks in like this. So it just snaps into place and it would be mounted to this. So just another example of that. This is the mount that it comes with, and that's how that goes. But for our setup, we're going to use a dovetail mount. This is the recommended mount that I like, and I think most people are going to tell you this is a little bit nicer. So we'll take our device. This is how the arm attaches to the PVS-14. You're going to see a little notch and a screw, little notch here and the screw, and we are just going to put it together. You're going to end up with something that looks like this. That is the way it's going to look. So the PVS-14 is now set up. Then you're going to need a bump helmet. This is a Team Wendy X-Fill helmet. I'm going to have a link to this helmet in the description of the video. This is a shroud on the helmet. This is a night vision shroud. When you buy a bump helmet, make sure that you have a night vision shroud on the helmet. These are pretty much universal. You will have to go out of your way not to get a standard night vision shroud. This is typically what they look like, and all of these mounts should mount into them. So now we have our arm on the PVS-14. We are going to take the mount here, and it's just going to click in. It's just going to go into the shroud. It just clicks into place. That's the way that works. You can fold this up or down, doesn't matter. And then again, this is a dovetail interface, not a horn interface. So your arm just has to match what mount you bought. If you have a Dovetail interface on your helmet mount, you're just gonna need a Dovetail style J-arm. And that simply just clicks into place right there. And there's all kinds of adjustments to fine tune this once you get it on to get this right over your eye. But this folds down and that would go over your right eye. And then on this mount, you can actually rotate it to go over your other eye if that's what you want. So it goes both ways. That is this mount. Again, link in the description for this. So just to drive the point home, whenever you get a PVS-14, your J-arm of your choice is either going to come in a horn mount or a Dovetail. We are simply just going to show you how the horn mount works. This is a J-arm that has the horn mount on. Let's just go ahead and put this together. Okay. And then I want to reiterate this too. The mount that I have came with either or. So I could either mount the Dovetail style or the horn on this one. Depending on what mount you get, you just need to pick one or the other. Make sure that your mount is horn or Dovetail, and make sure that your arm on the PVS-14 is a horn or a Dovetail mount. But this would simply snap in like that, and it's basically the same thing. We are just using a different interface. That is the two interfaces you're typically going to see. Is there another one out there? Probably, but it's not going to be typical. These are the ones you're going to want to stick to. So to reiterate this, the only things you need to mount a PVS-14 to a helmet is you need a helmet with a night vision shroud in it. You need a mount. This is the piece that would fold it over your eye. You need a J-arm in the Dovetail or horn configuration, whatever you want to do. And you need the actual device. So those are the things that you need to put it together. Okay, so let's go over the hearing protection I put on this. These are Peltor Tactical 300s. I have a review on these on my channel. I did not want Walker's razors. There is a million videos out there how to use Walker razors. I do not like Walker's razors. They do not offer the same premium dynamic hearing, directional hearing that these offer. And these are super simple to mount onto this helmet. So what I did, and I want to show you this because I already did it, but it's very simple. You are going to have to buy a set of Peltor Tactical 300s, and you're going to have to destroy the headband. There is 2 screws here. I took that out, and the wire runs up through this, and you're just going to pull it out and take this plate off and pull the wiring out, and you're going to pop these off the ear cups. So what you're going to end up with is just 2 ear cups that are connected to a wire. I have a counterweight Velcro to the helmet, and I simply just have the wire running to both of them underneath of that. So it's very simple. It's not complicated at all. So the mount that I used on these is the Team Wendy X-Fill style mount. So the mount we use to put the Peltors on are simply the Peltor arc rails made for this helmet. Again, I'm going to link it in the description of this video so you can see it. This is super simple. These clip right on, and anytime I want to pop them off, they simply just click in and out of this mount just like they would on the actual headset. So these go on, and I have electronic hearing on the helmet now. And I also have my inputs in case I want to connect a radio to it. So when you set up a night vision helmet, you need some sort of weight in the back because the PVS-14 is hanging over the front of your helmet, pushing your helmet down. So it's really simple. It's not complicated at all. You can buy weights that go in the inside of these, but I just put some more useful stuff in. Instead of weights, I just filled it with batteries that would go to the PVS-14. And there's also a pocket knife and another battery in there. You can put whatever you want in there. If you want to use the weights, you can use the weights, but I just prefer to just put something that's actually useful to counterweight the helmet in. So that's pretty much it. It's not complicated. And when you put these on, these arc rails just push into your ears and it's just on. Having the hearing protection on here secures the helmet to your head a little bit better than having nothing. So it's definitely worth putting the earphones on. But once you figure this mount out and figure everything out, it's just a matter of spending a ton of money.
A lot of you guys are probably watching this video because you're new to night vision, especially if you're trying to put a helmet together, and I want to include this. Shown here is the HoloSun LS321R. I like HoloSun products. I'm not affiliated with them, but this is just an example. You can buy whatever you want, but if you are going to take the time to make a night vision helmet, you are going to need an illuminator on your rifle. I know some guys who are just getting into night vision are going to say, well, I could just look through my red dot. It is very, very difficult. Not that it can't be done, but having the illuminator and using active aiming by shining the laser IR illuminator plus dot on things is going to be very helpful. Passive aiming has its place, but if you're going to set up night vision, this is going to be another cost you're just going to have to incur. These are expensive, but they are well worth it. We'll roll some images of this. I want to point out that this is IR, so only other people with night vision are going to see this illuminator and or dot. You could run it with just a dot or the illuminator and the dot is in the middle. These sight in just like a red dot. The HoloSun one that I use actually has a visible red dot that you can take to the range and shoot and see where you're hitting, and you just sight it in just like a red dot. And the IR laser is slaved up with the visible red dot, so when you sight it in, it sights in your IR laser light as well. Thanks for sticking around for the video. I really appreciate it. I hope this video was helpful to anybody who is trying to understand the mounting systems and how you put a PVS-14 on your helmet. When I was trying to figure out how to do it, it seems like nobody just has one simple, short, straightforward video on how it worked, and that's what I hope this video does for everybody. Just make it nice, short, and simple. Thanks for watching. This is Citizen Survival Plan. We'll see you in the next video.